The time I had to evict someone that was living underneath someone else's house. Yes, you heard that correctly. When I was a process server, I was asked by a property management company if I would evict a tenant. And of course, I agreed to do so, and I've worked with this company many times before. But when I went in the office to receive the paperwork to go serve this person, they were laughing. The staff members were laughing, and we were pretty close. So I was very blunt. I'm like, all right, what are you not telling me, guys? Like, what am I in for here? And they just could not stop laughing. I'm like, all right, y'all got to give me something because I might need to ask for more money. They finally told me what I was about to do. There was an old tenant that apparently just vanished one day and had been vanished for months. Like he owed, like a month and a half worth of rent he didn't pay, and just vanished and left most of his stuff in the house. They had to hire a cleaning crew to come clean it out and could not find this guy, to get their money, for past rent. Well, little did they know, they rented the house out to a new family, and it had been about 6 months now, and the family lost their cat for a couple of months and could not figure out where the cat was. Well, one morning, one of their children heard the cat meowing, and the kid discovered that it was coming from underneath the house. The little boy told his parents that he was going to crawl under the house. So the parents go outside with him and let him crawl, with a flashlight. And they apparently kept their eye on him. I'm not quite sure. I don't think I'd let my kid do that. But anyway, some way, somehow, the kid discovered that not only was the cat living under the house, a person was living under the house, because there was evidence of stuff that someone would need to live underneath the house. And it was, like fresh food, not fresh food, but, open food that was, not that old, things like that, a pillow, a blanket, a sleeping bag, water bottles, like you name it. Like, yeah, someone was living under their house. Then they discovered, because the parents were stalking, the exit and entrance, the only place that someone could crawl under the house, they were stalking it for a couple days and discovered that the old tenant would leave for the day and God only knows where, would go drinking or whatever, and then stumble home between 8 at night and midnight. So that's when they discovered that old tenant was living under their freaking house. So they contacted the management property management, and they tried to get the cops involved, but they discovered that the old tenant, now living under the house, was still receiving mail. And some way, somehow, I don't know how, but they could not arrest the guy. They had to properly evict him because he was still getting mail there. And I'm not giving anyone ideas, Please don't go live under people's houses. So, so when I got to the house, it was in the afternoon, to evaluate the situation. I asked the kid, I was like, where is he living? And he showed me the entrance, the only way, crawl space to get under the house. And I asked the family when they thought he'd be back, and they told me from about 8 in the evening till midnight. He usually doesn't come home, any later than that. And they had it on their phones, but they couldn't do anything about it. Like, the cops wouldn't even help them. I'm like, it's a very weird situation. Like, I feel like somebody didn't know something and the cops could have handled this. Anyway, that's a whole nother opinion. But so I stalked the house for 2 nights between 7 to midnight, and I didn't see the guy, okay? And I watched, and I did not fall asleep. I was paying attention. The third night, bingo, he came stumbling over to the house, and I slowly watched him from a neighbor's yard. It was a vacant house, neighbor's yard. And I watched the guy crawl into the crawl space. Before he got completely underneath the house, I went up to him and I said his name, and I said, John Doe, I'm here to serve you eviction papers. Get out from underneath these people's freaking house. Well, I did not know, but the little boy was outside and he was watching me. So the man crawls out all drunk, like he wasn't making any sense. I'm like, you cannot live here anymore. I get my mail here. I'll stay here as long as I want till they kick me out. Well, that's why I'm here. You need to go. You're getting kicked out. This is an eviction. He's just going on. He's like, well, I'm not leaving without my stuff and my cat. And I'm like, you have 3 minutes to go get your stuff underneath that house. And the clock is ticking now. Go get your stuff. Well, he comes out with a trash bag full of junk, and it was all torn to hell, and their cat. And I'm like, okay, give me the cat. The guy was like, no, you ain't taking my cat. They don't care about the cat. This cat's been living with me, for several months. They didn't look that hard for it. That's when the little boy came out from the other side of the house with the hose full blast. He hosed that man down. The cat went away, ran away, and so that's how the kid saved his cat from this crazy man. But I actually had to get the cops involved because he started to get pretty aggressive with me. But that's the story. There was a man living under these people's houses. There's like a series about this on TV. I think it's called Frogging or something. Like, it's quite scary. And what makes me madder is the fact that the cops couldn't handle this themselves. I'm so sorry. If someone's living under my house, either you're taking care of it or I'm taking care of it. You know what I mean?